The Alfa Romeo SZ, often referred to as Il Mostro, the Monster, is a high-performance sports car that became one of the most divisive Italian cars ever made. This may come as a surprise, but in the 1970s, Alfa Romeo was in serious financial trouble. At that time, the company was owned by the state-controlled Istituto per la Ricostruzione Industriale. Now that was basically a holding company set up under Mussolini in the 1930s with the sole intention of rescuing private companies that went bankrupt during the Great Depression.
Aveva Cesare, Virgilio ed Augusto.
Government support and a miraculous economic boom in the 50s and 60s kept Alfa Romeo in business, but in the 1970s, an aging product lineup, rampant inflation and political unrest kept Alfa Romeo firmly in the red, and in 1986, after 13 years of no profit, Alfa Romeo went up for sale, and along came Gianni Agnelli. Despite Alfa Romeo flirting with the Americans over at Ford, it was Agnelli and the mighty Fiat Corporation that acquired the iconic Italian car maker, and they did so by offering job guarantees to Italian workers, something Ford was unwilling to match. After Alfa's acquisition by Fiat, development started on the SZ, which was manufactured between 1989 and 1991. It was planned as an attempt to revive Alfa Romeo's sporting heritage and was developed to recall the Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint Zagato from the late 1950s and early 1960s. The most striking feature of the SZ is of course the design, which is what made this car so divisive. And despite being called the Sprint Zagato and carrying the Zagato logo, Zagato did not design the car, or at least they say they didn't. The design is attributed to Robert Opron and Antonio Castellana, in-house designers at Fiat. The design is perhaps best characterised as an unapologetic expression of 1980s futurism and the feel of a concept car that somehow made it into production, and that's pretty rare. Zagato's job was to build the car, which it did at its factory in Terrazzano, and that's how the SZ received its association with the brand. The body of the car is made from plastic, and mechanically it shared many of the components with the Alfa Romeo 75, the four-door saloon adored by many Alfa aficionados due to its status as the last Alfa Romeo to be built using the Alfetta's sophisticated transaxle architecture, which can be traced all the way back to the Alfa Romeo 158 and 159 Grand Prix cars, some of the most successful racing cars in history.
9 un grande campione del volante.
The SZ is rear-wheel drive and features the wonderful Busso V6 engine, which produces 210 horsepower. It also weighs about 1,260 kilos and has a 5-speed manual gearbox located at the rear of the car, which offers excellent weight distribution. And while the looks split opinions, the way it drives certainly doesn't. The suspension is taken from the Alfa Romeo 75 Group A IMSA car, and the way the SZ handles is what makes it so special as a driver's car. In fact, I'm pretty sure only racing cars yield lateral acceleration values greater than 1. The SZ exceeds 1.2 G.
Only racing cars yield lateral acceleration values greater than 1. The SZ exceeds 1.2 G.
After the SZ's run of 1,036 cars, Alfa Romeo started producing the RZ Roadster, and although based on identical running gear to the SZ, it only shared the front wings with the coupe. Zagato again was brought in to build the cars, but production ground to a halt after 278 units due to financial issues. This particular SZ has covered only 14,000 kilometers and was first registered in Japan and kept by its second owner for 22 years. It even comes with the original tailored cover, factory certificate and press pack. It's also for sale with a classic motor hub and available to view on Custodian, so make sure to check it out. The SZ then is an enigma. It exists within its own little world and it flies in the face of traditional beauty standards. But whether you love it or you hate it, at least it makes you feel something.
This time I know we're really through. But I'm never giving up on you. I'm never giving up on you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Please hit that like and subscribe button and let me know down below in the comments what you think of the SZ. A big thank you also to the Classic Motor Hub for letting us come down and film this monster. And make sure to check out Custodian as well for all your car related needs, whether that's insurance, you're looking to buy a new car, or you're just looking to manage the ownership of your current cars. I'll leave all the links down below in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.